How much can an artist make from Sirius XM every month for having their songs on different channels? I'm going to talk about an independent artist, artists that are currently making hits, and legacy artists. I have their statement. Let's go over it and the numbers. But first, one of the people on here is my husband, Steven. And as you guys know, Steven, honey, can we talk about this?
Yes.
We can share the information?
Yeah.
To educate everybody?
That's right.
Okay, you're not, people think you're being tied up with duct tape or something. In order
I'm not.
You're not. No, he's just watching The Price is Right. But let's go over the numbers. Last year, really quickly, Steven had his album Thimp, and we went down to Sirius XM, and we added 3 songs that have never been on Sirius XM, and how much did they make? So those 3 songs that were only for 3 months, they received 2,902 spins in 1 month and generated $1,212.14 through Sound Exchange every month for 3 months, about $400 per song. Steven was paid as both the featured artist and the owner of the master, the rights owners. Now, let's compare it to his established hits, which I have right here. This is his last month. This was June. The statement is that Steven received only 188 Sirius XM spins. On and On was played 95 times. Save It for a Rainy Day was 61 times. And different versions of On and On, It Might Be You, Walking on Air, and others were played about 31 times. His Sound Exchange payment came to $6,900 and change. Steven was paid as the featured artist and for the recordings he owns as the rights owner. There are 2 recordings on the statement for which he does not own the rights, which is some versions of On and Save It for a Rainy Day. We still have 6 years. If he did own those, it would be double. The payment which would be double, which is wild. But what about independent artists? I have right here, one of my friends sent it to me, but he said, don't use my name. I said, that's fine. So one independent artist, he's classical. I just play, guitar. And he currently earns around $400 a month. His music primarily plays on a classical station, one station. And he said he originally interned at Sirius XM, which helped him make connections needed to get his music heard and on the channel. So very smart. Another independent artist who recently has gained some traction. He said it took 4 years. He earned close to $2,000 every month for one new age track that got picked up by a playlist, which is like really amazing. And then they heard it and put it on Sirius XM. And also that song, by the way, was half a collaboration with someone who was bigger. So he only received half of the royalties. So it's really $4,000 a month. Next is an independent punk rock artist, and he said he earns approximately $85 per month. It just started from one track. He hired a publicist who helped him make the connection with Sirius XM, and he had to pay the publicist $1,200 a month for 6 months. And it entered the rotation a few months ago, and he said, we'll have to see whether that amount grows, but he said they offered me a 1-year deal on Sirius XM, and hopefully they can add him to more stations. But what about bands? There's an 80s band that I know, and they sent me over their statement, thank you. And they have 3 songs on 3 very big channels on Sirius XM, and they make about 17 grand per month, which is wild. And they have to split it among 4 people, so each person gets $4,250 per month. Wild.